are which. Some of them are very not.
It should be pretty clear, you know.
You never know sometimes. But first things first, you can call me Matt, you can call me Gunda, you can call me Stupid Jungler, come gank my lane, I respond to all those. Well, what can I call you? I've been calling you Foxy, but I don't know if that's what you're into.
Yeah, Brent is fine.
Brent, I can do that. Alright. And just because everybody wants to know, you're Gold 5? Gold 4?
Gold 4.
Cool.
Just lost my series to Gold 3, actually.
Alright. But you're climbing.
The coach.
You'll be fine. What are we looking to do tonight? Like, why get coaching?
I want to get super good. I mean, I guess my short-term goal is to hit Diamond, and I'd like to eventually maybe get up to Master Tier.
But I'm looking for, like,
better at the game, man.
Like, do you want to get better at the game? Do you have to get to Platinum so a girl will date you? I've had that kind of problem before. You know, are you looking to get a scholarship?
I'm more interested in getting good at the game and then letting the rank come as a result of that.
That's a good way to do it. Like, if you focus on the little stuff and the fundamentals and kind of ignore your rank and, like, just focus on getting good, the rank will follow, right?
That's the idea.
So, like, I'm going to ignore your I want to get Diamond, sure. You know, everybody does. Everybody wants to get Master, whatever. Let's focus on getting good, because then that'll just happen, alright?
For sure.
But that's good for me. That helps. So what roles, what specifically are we looking to get better at?
I'm mostly playing ADC, and then my off role is jungler right now.
Okay. That's interesting. You don't like support?
Not really. Support was the first role that I played in the game, but I don't know. I guess it might make more sense to have that be my off role, but I'm always scared of queuing up as support second because I feel like I just get support all the time.
I do jungle support in every one of my ranked games. I get jungle, like here. This is me queued as jungle support even in normal games. Jungle, 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 support. Jungle, AD carry, that was weird. Support, jungle, 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 support, jungle. So out of the last whatever many games in the match history, I have 2 support games and an AD carry autofill, queuing jungle support.
You know, I've thought queuing support second might be a good idea because then I get to see the other side of the 2v2 in the bot lane, and I just get more experience in the bot lane in general.
Yeah.
So I might consider doing that, and I'm decent at support. Like I have a decent like Sona and Thresh and stuff.
Let me put it this way. AD carry synergizes really well with like other roles. Like the stuff you practice in AD carry is really good like in mid lane because both roles are about farming and eventually killing stuff when you get strong enough, right?
Yeah.
So like normally I'd recommend if you're queuing as AD carry mid secondary, or if you're queuing as AD carry support secondary, because it's just like you said, it's the other half of that lane. So like if you think about it, well, I'm an AD carry player, what the hell tilts me when my support does certain don't do those things, right?
Right.
But like you felt the pain of a bad support, so you have that empathy, so you know what not to do from the other side of that.
For sure.
And then also, like as a support player, then you can see like, oh, my AD carry's an idiot because he's not following up on this engage or whatever. He's not trading. Then you understand like what to do better as an AD carry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
By the way, I talk too much. Interrupt me if you're trying to get a word in edgewise. This is your lesson, not mine. Okay, I won't be offended.
For sure. Yeah, no, I could see doing mid too. I've played mid in the past as well, and you know, I'm decent on some standard champions like Ori and stuff. So I don't know. I would probably do one of those too. I can see why you're saying don't do jungle though, because that's kind of a completely different beast.
I mean, you can do it. If you're doing jungle, play like Graves or Kindred. Play Twitch jungle. Shit.
I've played a ton of jungle like in past seasons too, so I'm familiar with the jungle.
And I mean, like if I'm not your dad, go do whatever you want, man. I'm just saying, like usually if you're trying to get better, like if you queue as mid and support secondary, you'll get better at AD carry. If you queue as jungle secondary, you probably won't, because jungle's all about like strategy. You don't have to worry about last hitting. You're usually playing a utility or a tank champ, which is a completely different play style than the carry role, right?
Right. No, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'll probably start doing that then.
I mean, it's up to you. Then again, you can always become the first good Kindred main I've seen, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, again, if you want jungle, go for it, but just saying this. Alright, here. Sorry, I sidetracked. So, AD carry player, not sure what secondary is after the last 30 seconds of arguing. give me like 3 or 4 things you want to go over today, just because we don't have a game to look at or anything like that. So.
So laning, I feel like I can improve a lot on. There's some specific questions I have with regards to that.
Like what?
So one of my biggest problems is if I'm not playing a lane dominant champion, like your Caitlyn or maybe a Callista or something that's going to be able to bully in lane or at least trade effectively. I just get like my teeth pushed in sometimes by the enemy laners if they're harass heavy, or if I'm playing like a Tristana against a Caitlyn lane or against a brand support or against a Karma support.
Sure.
I feel like if I don't get a good play early, like a good all-in or a good gank or something, then I just get pushed into my tower and I slowly lose farm because I can't farm under turret with Triss E active and all that kind of stuff, you know? So...
okay, yeah, I can help you. That's weird. You should be able to farm under turret, so like your runes might be wrong too.
It's more like I can farm under the turret, but then the E splash damage when I hit one.
Yeah,
of them,
it messes up the minions, sure. But that just sounds like you gotta practice it. Like I hear you. It's not the simple. Oh, the turret hit the melee minion twice, so now to hit it a third time. You know, because when you hit that first one the third time, it splashes to the other ones nearby and messes that up.
Yeah, and sometimes it just messes enough of them up so that I can't get them because the tower is gonna hit them and kill them next time.
Watch some of the AD carry players, like shit. Watch Cutie Pie or Sneaky even, because this is kind of basic stuff. Look for a Tristana game, and look what they do. Because like,
okay, yeah, maybe I just need to prep the wave better before it hits the tower, but then I feel like I'm just gonna get harassed more as I'm trying to do that too.
Yeah, but luckily for you, there's a tower there, so if they harass you, they take a tower shot.
Yeah.
I mean, like I hear you, but like this, I'm hearing him just like play better is like my response. And I can show you how to do it if you want. We can jump into a custom game and do it right now, you know. But
that might be helpful because it's specifically with Tristana, right? Like I can farm pretty well under turret with other champions, but I've been trying to play more Triss lately since she's pretty meta right now. And
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just if I'm not pushing the lane or I'm not keeping the lane even and I'm getting shoved in a lot, I lose out on a lot of farm.
I mean, other option, you could just always play Sivir. You know, she's a pretty good Triss counter the way the shield works. She has really good wave clear, so you never have to worry about that.
Right.
So there are other options. You could play the Callista and be the lane bully. But if you want to learn Triss, we can work on this too, because she's fun.
I've been thinking about just dropping Triss in favor of playing like Callista more and other champions, well, but I don't know.
She's good. I'm just saying, like, if you can't farm early though, that's a little rough. And I can show you how to do that too.
Okay.
All right. Well, what else? I want to get the list done first.
Sure. And then other things when it comes to laning, I guess it's just I don't know what to do if my support isn't supporting me well enough to trade with the enemy in lane, and then that just leads me to getting harassed more, and I take a lot of damage, and then I give up the lane essentially. So I guess that all kind of ties into the same thing. So that might be my biggest laning concerns. Another topic that I wanted to talk about though was my decision making, specifically at the micro level.
Okay.
So I'm talking about, like, I guess when I'm team fighting or when I'm laning, how to skirt the line between maximizing my damage output and not getting wrecked by the enemy champions who are trying to all flash on me and kill me, you know?
Okay. So team fighting.
Yeah, team fighting, and I guess team fight positioning and keeping my damage uptime pretty high. That's something that I can struggle with sometimes if like my team's not ahead per se.
Yeah, this is something I can show you some stuff that even Diamond AD carries don't do because they're dumb. Yeah, we can help you out. All right, cool.
And then the other part of decision making, I guess more of the macro stuff would be what to do in the mid game. Like when I'm still trying to keep my farm up, but there's plays happening around the map. What to do if I don't have time to set up the wave the way that I want to, and you know I need to go and rotate to Dragon or to Rift Herald or to mid lane because my whole team is fighting a 4v5 or something. So that's another problem that I have, like how to know
Sure.
when to just ignore them and farm, or when to go join the skirmish and that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we can talk through this, definitely. Okay. Where do you want to start? You want to do laning or decision making first?
Let's start with laning.
Alright, cool. So, this is going to be tricky to do without a screen share. I'm going to use this thing called RipKit.
Okay.
So here, if you are in Discord, let me share this link with you real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Actually, there we go. So if you click that link that I should have just sent you.
Where is it posted?
In Discord messages. Try that. It should be like direct messages.
Okay, let's see.
But there should be a hyperlink. It should be a message from me, Gunday Monday, to you, the Fox Sorcerer. And you should be able to see a map of the rift with a bunch of green circles on it. That's me clicking.
Okay, I got the link.
Yep. Hey, you're in there. Do you see the things?
Join in session. I'm ready. Okay, yeah, I do. Cool.
Cool. Yeah, so we're going to use this to screen share. If we got to do something fancier, we'll give it a whirl. But you should be able to see this, and you have control too, so try not to go too crazy, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so here's bot lane, right?
Yeah.
Quit it. What side are we? Blue or red?
Let's be blue side this time.
Okay. So, you're getting harassed, right?
Yeah.
Where are the minions? Are they here?
I guess when I'm taking the most harass, they're a little further back, near the rock in front of the tower and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
like
I can
more
see them
minions
there.
here, less minions here.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. There's a couple reasons for that. One, you're not managing the wave properly. Because if it gets to this point, it's really hard to harass back, because early all these minions will do more damage than, these two champions.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, and I can show you how to do that.
So question
Yeah.
with regard to that. If I'm playing, let's say specifically Tristana against a Caitlyn, how do I not let the wave get to this point without taking free auto attack harass whenever I go up to hit the minions?
You have a bunch of tools in your kit to make use of that, right? So, like, here's one way to do it. Caitlyn if she's good, is going to be auto-attacking you because that's how that champion works, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's say these are the melee minions, okay?
Yeah.
So yours, hers. If she's good, see this, like, blue circle around her?
Yeah.
Let's say that's her auto-attack range. Your blue circle early on Trist is like, this. It's a little bit smaller, right? So what should happen is every time you move your circle to, like, right-click one of these, she moves into you and just right-clicks you repeatedly. And if you go to harass, she just kites you backwards and you don't get anything, right?
Right.
Okay, so what the trick that you want to do is when this guy is getting low, right? Like if this is the health bar. Oh, that was horrible. This thing like auto-corrects your boxes, so you got to be a little tricky with it.
Oh, nice.
So full health, when it's getting, right around that like critical area. Here, 1 sec. Apparently our hedgehog just burrowed into our couch and we have no idea how to get her out. So
Oh gosh.
so that's a conundrum. Well, we'll see if she figures it out before the coaching session is done. Otherwise, I may have to go on an adventure.
Okay.
All right, going back to this though. You go to harass when the minion's getting low, right?
Yeah.
So she is going to hit you whenever this is low. What should she be doing if she's good though?
Also farming?
Yeah, also farming.
Yeah.
So ideally what you want to do is set up the wave.
So that they die at the same time?
Yes.
So she has to choose between hitting me or getting the creep.
Exactly. Because, like, if she keeps going for you, what else is going to happen? Like, let's say she autos you and then she moves into you a whole bunch.
She'll get the minion aggro.
Yep, okay, and if the minions are hitting her, what are they not hitting?
Mine, or their minions, so
Yeah.
then the wave's gonna push into me.
Cool. And then your goal is you want it to freeze, like, right here, just outside of tower range.
Right.
So that if she goes in to auto you, she takes a tower shot and she loses the trade, right?
Right.
So that's the first thing, right? Now,
Okay.
problem with
So,
that
I mean,
is...
you say set up the waves such that the minions on either side will die simultaneously or whatever, or close to it at least. Now, in order to set up the wave, I mean, what if the Kalen's, just auto attacking the wave, and I can't, and I run up to set up the wave so that her minions die at the same time? What if then she just starts hitting me at that point too?
Well,
so then I'm taking even more hits.
Well, if you're playing Tristana, right?
Yeah.
You push faster than Caitlyn.
Right.
Just because of the way your passive works, where if you last hit a thing, it does damage to other things.
Right.
So you need less autos to do the things she needs. Another thing... Oh, we got her. We got the hedgehog out.
Hedgehog obtained.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing, right? If Caitlyn is autoing you, she's not autoing the wave. So you can wait for her to, like, last hit the wave and use that as your window to get in and get a few autos off. Because remember, you need less autos to push the wave. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Another thing I like doing is kind of standing in the minions. So if she tries to throw, like, her Q at you, her pacemaker, she hits the minions and shoves it into you. Like, that helps too. Another thing you can do is your support can always move into her whenever, like, you're trying to get a CS, but, if you have a potato, I think that was one of the problems we had as a support.
Yeah, I mean, if I have a good support, I don't struggle as much against the Caitlyn lane, because then my support is being proactive and harassing or like one of us is trading with the Caitlyn while she's trading with the other one or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we can like go all in on her or something if we need to do that.
The gist of it is that you want to wait until she has to hit a minion, use that time to sneak a few autos in.
Okay.
Another thing you can do, like, if you just want a last hit and you don't want her to fight, what happens if you throw your bomb on top of her?
She doesn't want to continue the trade because she'll lose.
Yeah, so what does she do?
Back off, usually.
Yeah, she backs off usually. Cool. What do you have time to do while that's happening?
CS.
So, like, with Tristana into Caitlyn, you're not looking to win the lane.
Right.
You're looking to survive the lane. So don't be afraid to use your offensive tools to, like, mess with this guy. Another thing you can do when the lane is about to die, or not the lane, when the minions are about to die, like, let's say this guy is getting low, right?
Yeah.
What some Tristana players will do is they'll throw their bomb on top of this and then blow it up, so it does just a bunch of splash damage there to trade, right?
Right. For sure.
You can do something like that, too. Be a little sneaky with it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I get how to pull the wave, and I get why that's an effective and good strategy, but then I just worry about letting the... I guess I wouldn't let the wave build up at that point if I'm doing everything that we're talking about. And then it wouldn't crash into the tower, so I wouldn't have to try to farm into the tower. But I still think I need to learn how to farm into the tower with Trist, too.
Yeah, if you let the waves get to the point where this is, like, twice as many minions as this, you messed up stuff early. That's why I'm, like, focusing on this kind of trading stance stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. If I just play that part well, then I probably won't end up in that crappy position
Right,
later.
and we can work on this, too, because you shouldn't learn how to do this, because sometimes everyone makes mistakes, right? Maybe you lag out or something. I don't know. But, so you got to learn both, but if you focus on that first thing so that this never happens... then they're super gankable, you have good farm, and you have complete control of the lane, and, eventually that Caitlyn's going to run out of mana and be really easy to all in.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Another thing, what items are you taking into lane?
Usually D-Blade.
Alright, so...
Sometimes D-Shield, but I know we were talking about the Relic Shield thing the other day.
So let me ask you about, this is the one we're on, right? How not to get wrecked by stronger harass. Into this Caitlyn lane, what would you take?
Typically D-Shield, sometimes D-Blade.
Good. Why D-Blade?
If I feel like I have a support that will allow us to all in, or kill or blow up the Caitlyn at some point.
Like what?
A Leona or I don't know. I guess like maybe a Thresh or a Blitz or something.
Alright, so something with kill potential, like Ignite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to think about it. If you have like a kill lane, yeah, you can take Doran's Blade. Another thing you can do though, like Doran's Blade start is really bad right now. Against strong harass, a D shield is better because your job early in a lane that you're going to lose is just to farm and survive. It's not to win lane, even if you have a support that wants to.
Right.
So, because if they mess up the all-in and you give up a double kill, now what?
Then you're in a losing lane against someone who has a double kill up on.
Yeah, so like the way to think about AD carry and low elo, where people don't know what they're doing and lag a whole bunch, is that you want to hedge your bets. Sure, you can go for the all-in every time, but if your support's bad, that doesn't work, right?
Yeah, it's a
high risk, high reward.
High variance sort of play, yeah.
Tristana and Kate, like if you played that matchup 100 times and you were looking to win over 50 of them, right? Like 50, 60. Doran Shield will be better. Because like you said, you're going to get harassed a whole bunch. Doran Shield will make it easier to farm because of the passive that gives you extra on-hit damage. And then also every time you get hit, you get a shit ton of healing, right? Yeah. So that's a thing. Now, on the other hand, Relic Shield will give you a little extra sustain, not as much as Doran Shield. And it will let your support get that Ardent Censer faster, but if you have like a Blitzcrank or something that isn't going to build Ardent Censer, I wouldn't take it.
Mm-hmm.
But right now in Challenger, a lot of the AD carries have figured out that if they get Relic Shield as their first item, their support gets gold faster, and then they get Ardent Censer faster, and they get that 30% attack speed from another source faster.
And you do kind of get a lot of sustain because you can either buy 3-pot or refillable potion too.
Yeah, and I would do 3-pot. Now, another thing I would start, like you mentioned Doran's Blade, right?
Yeah.
I think Doran's Shield is the way to go into this Caitlyn lane we're talking about. I don't like Doran's Blade at all. There are some builds you can go where like you get 2 Doran's Blades and a Vamp Scepter, and then like you can just lifesteal off the minions and it's enough where you can survive.
Yeah.
That was like the old Season 3 AD carry build.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I would get like Longsword plus 3 pots.
And rush a Vamp Scepter or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or rush a core item. Like, it depends how you build Tristana, right?
Yeah.
So, appeal of this is you're not wasting gold on a Doran's Blade. You have extra potions, right? So you have more sustain. And then Doran's Blade, you actually need to be auto-attacking to use the sustain. Well, in the situation we just talked about, the Caitlyn's harassing you every time you go to auto, so you're never going to get to use it, right?
Yeah, and you can just get range leashed when you go to trade with her anyway.
Yeah. So this longsword, it's like the same thing. Like here, Doran's Blade. I don't know if you have the stream up right now. I'm looking at the wiki. We're trying something new where I don't screen share. So Doran's Blade gives 80 health, 8 attack damage, and you get 1 potion, right? Because it's more expensive than just the longsword.
Yeah.
And you get 3% lifesteal. So if you are, let's say you're doing like 50 damage per auto, how much lifesteal do you get per auto?
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. Good. You know math. Cool. So 2 autos is 3. That's another way, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting like 1.5 health per auto. But every auto you're getting Caitlyn headshot or whatever. You know, you're losing 90. I don't know.
You'd have to auto 100 times for each extra pot.
Right. And you have 80 health from this too.
Yeah, but
if you look at...
You're not gonna get all into by a Caitlyn necessarily either. She'll also like poke you out, right?
Sure. Now, conversely, Longsword, you start with 10 AD, so you get 2 extra AD. So you have a little more damage, which makes it a little easier to last hit. And you don't have that 80 health or 3% lifesteal, which is laughable early game. But the 80 health is replaced by 2 extra health potions, right?
Yeah.
So red potion.
More effective HP, I guess, in the lane.
So if you look at this, each potion gives you 150 health.
Right.
So if you think about it, having 3 of those means you have an extra 450 health in your health pool. Versus 80 plus 150 is less, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
so Zelda is saying Longsword is a little awkward for Triss as it doesn't build into anything she wants until like 4th item. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but I don't think it's a terrible idea to build a Vamp Scepter early against a Kate anyway.
Yeah, I want to see what Zelda means. Because, like, there are a bunch of things you can build on Tristana that are really good. Like, here's her core build I'm looking at. You know, so what Zelda's saying is you gotta wait until your armor pin item 4th, right? Because she wants all that attack speed and crit. She's gonna rush Infinity Edge, even though that's the stupidest build you can do on an AD carry that doesn't have crit built into their kit. So, like, I don't get it. Because if you're up against a healing lane, you're rushing Executioners anyway. That builds out a longsword. You can sit on a Vamp Scepter, which builds into your lifesteal item. You're going to want that, especially in tank meta, where team fights are really, really long. I mean, if you're up against a tank, you're going to do a different build anyway. Like, do you rush IE on her?
I usually buy a BF and then buy a Zeal and then go IE.
Okay, good. If you're doing that, it's fine. That build is really good against squishies. It doesn't work as well against tanks, and people like are still kind of stuck in that mindset. Here, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite sites, okay?
Okay.
Have you ever been to LeagueOfLegendsMath.com?
No.
Alright, if you look at the stream, I'll drop the link in chat for everybody. An IE Shiv Rapid Fire, it's good, Zelda, sometimes. It's not always the best. So here, who are we playing against? You said it was Caitlyn AD carry?
Yeah.
And are you watching the stream too?
Yep.
Alright, cool. So this is a tool built by a guy named InvertedComposer. He's been at the top of Challenger, like, since I've been playing the game in Season 2.
Yeah, I've heard of the dude.
This is magic. So here, let's say we're up against a bunch of bullshit. Let's say we're up against Team Tank and their support. Let's say it's a Leona or something. Who's mid for them? How about Galio, just to be a nightmare?
Sure, why not?
Alright, so right now I have on the enemy team, they have a Caitlyn, so that sucks for you for the reasons we talked about. Maokai top, Sejuani jungle, Galio mid, Leona.
Disgusting.
And are we optimizing damage? Are we looking to 1v1 a little? Like, what were we thinking?
I don't want to 1v1 any of those champions.
Alright, let's go all damage. We're going to assume your team peels, okay?
Yeah.
Once a vandal gunner,
Alright. So what he's recommending into this team comp is the same kind of build. So let's see. I'm curious. There used to be a thing where I could see alternatives. Here it is. Yeah, shit. I'm wrong. Zelda, you're right. Apparently, Shiv first, into Infinity Edge, into Hurricane, into Black, into some kind of armor pin item is the way to go. I'm surprised.
This Yumu's in there is pretty weird. I don't get that. Oh, I guess that's just pure damage. Okay.
Yeah, pure damage. No survivability, right?
Right.
So here, if we want a little bit of lifesteal or whatever. Here, let's go here. Here, it switches to Blade of the Ruined King, right? It switches to Bloodthirster. This is interesting, though. I wouldn't have guessed this, but he's saying, and he has the math to, like, account for all the tanks and shit, too, that it's the way to go. See, I'm not a stupid... Hey, I know Zelda, I know. I just didn't think so. Like, this is new to me. I'm learning, too, I guess. But this site is really good for theory crafting, like, proper builds and stuff. So going back to the...
That's pretty sick, actually.
So Longsword start, it can build into this item, you know, because you need your armor pin thing. You can build into Blade of the Ruined King. You can build into... your Bloodthirster, can build into Death's Dance if you're doing that. If they have a lot of CC, like into this team, I would get a Mercurial, you know? I'd get a QSS in there. Yeah. That has Vamp Scepter in there. So, like, you can do it and sit on it, but I kind of agree with Zelda now that I'm looking at this. And, like, so maybe just sit on Dorn Shield.
Right.
You know? Okay, so ignore everything I said. Now, if we're playing another AD carry, like, here, let's say this is a Callista instead.
I just go for it first on her almost every game.
Well, here, let's see if that's right. I don't know. InvertedComposer is saying it is very correct, especially in the team tank. So, Blade of the Ruined King, Hurricane, the standard core, like it's been, like, since Callista's come out, essentially. So, again, it depends on the AD carry. So, for Triss, it looks like you need that static shift first into Infinity Edge. Callista and other stuff, you can go with the Longsword start if you wanted.
Right.
Yeah, Zelda's support main is saying D-Shield first, so That's what I think we said we started, and then the longsword was an alternative because you get the 3 pots for extra sustain, but...
Yeah, and I don't have as much trouble laning as Callista against the Caitlyn. I can usually keep up harass with her, or, you know, like, get a spear in her and then get the resets and stuff and deter her from wanting to...
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
So just saying, like think about it. Like, you have different options. Don't start Doran's Blade if you know you're going to have trouble, because you're not going to be able to use it. Doran's Shield is really, really good. And if you have a support that has shields, you know, like a Karma, a Janna, a Soraka, that kind of thing, that can use the Ardent Sensor. I know Soraka doesn't have shields, but the heals count too.
Yeah.
Think about Relic Shield first.
I can't even think of a situation now that we're talking about it where a D-Blade would be a great idea to take on Tristana.
It's not a good item right now.
Right.
Like, Riot has it in the game in case people want to itemize in some lifesteal. You know, just cheap lifesteal. Like, sometimes people will pick up, like, 2 in the mid-game just so they can survive team fights a little longer. Be just tanky enough that the Rengar full combo doesn't burst them down, you know? Something like that, but...
Right.
You could also just position better, you know, or stand next to your tank, so it's a little weird. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's the first one. Focus on controlling the wave early better. Itemization will help you do that too. Do we want to go over how to farm under Tower of Triss, or do you think you can go into a practice tool and just practice it a little?
If we can just talk about it, that would help me a lot, because
sure.
When the wave is crashing in and I haven't had the opportunity to prep it, because if I walk up, I'll get harassed or something. And, you know, some of the minions are a little low from fighting my minions. I have no idea what to do.
By the way, like, I've played in gold, like one of my Smurfs is down there. I'm surprised that you're getting, like, the level of harass you're describing, I haven't seen in gold. And I don't know if it's just because, like, when I'm in gold, I'm playing support or whatever, so I just make it so the enemy AD carry is very afraid. But, like I don't see this. So it's interesting to me that you're describing this.
I just played a horror show game. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just earlier tonight, I was down, like, 30 CS at 10 minutes or something. It's pretty rough.
Ooh, alright, we'll fix it. We'll make it better. I'm looking for her passive. Where is it? Here. Enemies explode when slain by Tristana's basic attacks, dealing magic damage to all nearby enemies. Great. How much magic damage? If you're looking at the wiki, right, and I don't think you take any AP in your runes, correct? Okay, so you don't have to worry about the splash. What skills are you leveling up first, too?
I start E almost every game. E,
but,
W, E,
but
Q.
E max?
Yeah.
Okay, so E max is tricky because the damage changes, so it's a little bit harder to gauge what you need to do.
Right.
And Zelda, we are talking about if the support is fully baked, fully buttered potato. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. Normally the support will help you out. But we're trying to be a strong, independent AD carry, Yordle, drill sergeant lady on her own. So, if you're looking at the wiki, which I have up on stream, I'll throw it in the Twitch chat for you. You gotta factor in this damage right here. What I like doing is I like hovering over my ability to see how much damage I'm going to do, because I don't have these numbers memorized. And Tristana is like one of the 380 carries you're playing. You need to have these numbers memorized.
Right.
Okay? Because, like, the active is this physical damage and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
You're not worried about that usually. You're just going to assume it's going to blow up for quite a bit of damage, right? Like, an extra bit and then it stacks. This is what you're worried about early game. So, what's your auto on Tristana? Do you know what it does?
Early game is like 75-ish.
Here. So, 57 to 97.9. 75 means you got some runes, you got like your Doran's Blade, your Longsword, your whatever. If you have Doran's Shield, that has some extra on-hit damage in there too. What you want to do is figure out how much damage your auto attack does. And like, I usually just look, like I have my stats up in the bottom left, and I can just see that number. If you're like learning this, and like you're a gold 480 carry, so I might be telling you stuff you already know. Stop me if you've heard this one. But you can click the minion and be like, are you below what my auto attack will do?
Yeah, I got that.
You know? Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
But you want to be looking at that to see, okay, when can I actually kill a thing? And then you want to factor in this damage, your explosive charge damage. Because that's not going to hit the one you're killing, it's going to hit everything around it, right?
Right.
So if you see, like, there's a bunch of minions under tower, melee is full health. Here, let me pull this up just so you can see, right? Melee minion, lol. Normally it's like 1, 2 tower shots, then you auto, right?
Yeah.
So this thing, let's say it's early. This thing has 455 health, right?
Yeah.
Tower shot is doing, I don't know, let's call it like 200 damage, just to make the math easy.
Sounds about right.
Okay. So the way to think about it is, well, if you hit one of these guys just by itself, right, you get the CS, but it's going to do 60 damage to everything nearby. So if it only has 455 health, 1 tower shot is 200, 2 tower shots is 200, it has 55 health left, you already did 60 to it, that means the second tower shot's going to kill it, right?
Yeah.
So how many more autos do you need on each melee to get it? That's the math problem. Let me draw it out, so because that's kind of hard to visualize. 455 HP. Melee, 455 HP. Power shot, let's say 200 HP.
I think the
Auto.
magic damage splash is 50, not 60 too.
I'm looking at the wiki. It is 50, rank 1.
Yeah, 50. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So here, let's say, just so I'm right, tower shot is 205. I was trying to make the math easy. But let's say you're rank 2 and it does 75. I'm trying to prove the point that you have to do something.
Yeah.
Because if this was the case, it'd be easy, right?
Yeah.
They'd all have 5 health at the end.
Right.
Magic splash for me. We'll just say it's 50, so it can be right.
Well, no, it makes sense to call it 75, I think, too. That's when I have more trouble with it, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, here. Well, we'll call it 75 then. So here's the math problem. You kill the first one. The splash damage is 75. So how much does the minion have left? 55 minus 75 is 380, right?
Yeah.
Each tower shot does 200 damage. So first one does 200. 180 is left. Your auto attack does 75. How many times do you need to auto it before you can kill it?
3.
Yeah, you need to do the 2 and then the last one to actually kill it, right? So 3.
Right.
So 2 before the final tower shot hits, and then a third one to last hit it.
Right.
So way to think about it, before you farm the first one and get the splash on the other 2, you need to auto-attack the other 2 twice to prep.
Okay.
But this is how I would figure that out. I would do it in a practice tool, because I don't know what your runes and masteries are. And depending on what your auto-attack is, depending on your itemization, this number will be different. So it can get a little, it can vary, right?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying now. I didn't think this much in detail about it before, but now that I see the way you go about it, it makes a lot more sense.
This is how you do it. You spend an hour in the practice tool figuring this shit out, and then you never think about it again. At least until the patch completely changes your champion. Now another thing.
It's crazy too though if like the melee minion had taken, let's say, like 50 damage already from fighting my melee minions or something.
Yeah, sure.
I mean? So then you have to like do that on the fly.
Now on the fly, like shortcut, you can do this ahead of time. I like doing it ahead of time, just memorizing the numbers because I'm OCD about this shit. But if you're lazy or smarter, depending on how you look at it, you can just like click a melee minion that's about to be hit by a tower. See how much damage the tower shot does. Maybe it's not 200, maybe it's like, I don't know, 210. Maybe it's 180. I don't know. But you click the health bar, you're like, he had this much before, now he has this much. Quick math.
Yeah.
Tower shots do this much. And then you can auto attack it once, be like, oh, my auto did 75 or 76 or whatever. Like, do you have your damage indicator turned on in the settings?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. But use that. Be like, okay, if it has 500 health and tower shots are doing 200, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not mental gymnastics here to figure out what you got to do, right?
Right. Yeah, I just never approached it from that angle before, but that makes a lot of sense.
So 2 ways you can deal with it. Go into a custom game. They have that beautiful practice tool for you. Get an idiot robot So it'll like harass you and simulate the Caitlyn bullshit. And then just practice this shit and make it so towers are immortal, lock experience at whatever level you're having trouble with. And just do that for like a half hour until you get the hang of it.
Okay.
Other thing you can do that's even way easier, so here, third option, right, is just don't take a point in your E level 1 and don't max it first, as weird as that sounds.
Right.
Here, argue with me. Why would that be bad?
I don't know, like, your E does the most damage for sure.
Okay, but like we said, you're in a lane that you're not going to win. So, are you trying to do damage?
Not per se.
I mean, you're going to still level it up. You know, you're going to get 3 points in something else, and then you're going to start maxing your E, right? When laning phase ends.
Yeah. That I could see that being plausible.
So,
like get 3 points in Q until you get out of lane and then max E. I don't know.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, if this mental calculus, it's not, you know, it's a little bit of algebra.
And then the attack speed actually helps you even more to farm under the turret too.
Now lanes that you win, that like it's not a Caitlyn, you know, it's a Vayne or something that I can bully early.
Yeah.
Maybe you max E first, you know.
Yeah.
But the lanes that you know you're gonna lose from experience, or like your support's like, hey, I have 4,000 ping. You know, then maybe don't, just so you have an easier time last hitting.
Wait, Matt, are you saying that you don't have to do the skill order that it says on champion.gg every single game?
Yeah, I thought that had like a 40% win rate.
Alright, that's sick. I didn't, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's gold, not challenger, right? So you're not going to get punished for... I guess it has a 52% win rate. It's okay. But, like, I don't get why people... Like, your job is to farm, so if this makes it harder to farm for you...
Right.
Like why do it? You know? And, like, I know
sure.
harassing and shit like that, but in gold, if you just, like, farm up, you can carry that way, because the other AD carry won't be farmed up. Because everyone's bad at CSing and wants to fight constantly. Yeah. So I don't know, that's my brain thinking about stuff.
No, totally, I'm on board with that. Yeah, I think maybe even starting Q and max, or taking 3 points in Q first might be a good solution too.
Here, Zelda has a good counterpoint. You lose first tower pressure. Because your E does a shit ton of damage to towers. It helps you, like, shove the wave really hard.
Kind of, but so does the attack speed from your Q.
Yeah, I do believe the E does way more damage than your Q to towers.
Sure, to the tower, yeah.
But, like let's say you get... Like, when are you going to be taking towers? Level 3 Zelda? I don't know about that. Maybe, like, level 4, level 5? You can just, like, get QWQ type points or whatever. Because you probably only need 1 point in jump. I know, like, this crazy guy has 2 for whatever reason, but that could be a misclick. But you could do that, and then around the time you have 2 or 3 points in your off ability, like Q probably for the attack speed, like you said, then start leveling E, and then you still have, like, 2 points. You're only delayed this, like, instead of level 9 for having E max, you'll have it max at, what, like, level 12?
Yeah.
Like, so you're giving up, like, maybe, let's call it 2-3 minutes of power, and you'll still be able to take that tower with your E. Like, I want to do the math. Like, I'm wondering if the extra attack speed from Q will actually take towers faster, even if you only have, like, a point or 2 in E, level 4, level 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'd be interested in finding that out.
Yeah, sure. Hey, Foxy, what are issues of Heimerdinger jungle? Go.
Shit tier clear speed.
Clear speed's pretty good, actually.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Dude, I don't know. You can't set up your turrets for when you go to gank somebody, really. Are there issues with Heimer jungle? The more I'm thinking about it, the more it seems kind of okay.
You get hard counter jungled. Champions like Nunu absolutely shit on you.
You're pretty done.
You can't gank. Like, the way you gank is you trick them into walking to a bush with, like, 4 towers or little turrets.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always work.
Yeah, the ganks would not be very good.
Like, you could do it. The way you would have to play is, like, you just set up and take dragons with your turrets and then force people to come fight you.
your ganks are walk into a lane and set your turrets up and take their tower.
I mean, you can flash and
That's your
throw a
gank.
stun grenade, but like, and every early game jungler will eat you alive. Like
The
every
other
last one of
issue
them.
is that your whole team will rage at you the whole game and be tilted.
That too.
It's
Your
like-
entire team will rage at you. That said, I just linked in Twitch chat the best League of Legends game I've ever seen played. It's, I believe, Good Game University or something. I have GSG Jungle Heimerdinger, so it might be a different team. But that was the final game of, like, the winter finals of some big tournament for money. It was, like, qualifying for, like, the LCS or something. So a shit ton of stuff was on the line, and the guy busted out Jungle Heimerdinger, and just watch. It's a good time. But check it out. But I would not recommend it because it sucks. The clear is good, but you have to set up turrets. That's one problem, right? So it's hard to move those around to different camps. So that means you have to like set them up so that they can do multiple camps at once, and that's really tricky to do. And if the enemy jungler knows that, they'll just come murder you at that choke point, steal your like jungle everywhere else, and make it so you can't do anything. It's not a good time.
Enemy Lee Sin sitting in a bush in your jungle, waiting for you.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Alright, so we went over how to not get wrecked by Stronger Harass. Itemization's easy, controlling the wave early is easy. We talked about how to farm under tower, gave you 3 options, right? Do the mental math outside of a game and practice tool to figure out your ability combos and stuff like that. In-game, you can just like look and see how much your auto's doing, how much your E's doing, how much the tower's doing, and figure it out on the fly if you're lazy, like some people are. Or you can just not max E until like level 5 or level 4.
Right.
And then you just don't have to worry about it, and it's easier. So delay a power spike to not lose farm and get a power spike. It's weird. Alright, we're on what to do with a potato support. Describe your potato for me.
I guess the most recent example was my Lulu, who was playing with me while I was Trist against a Jhin Karma lane, and the Jhin and the Karma could just freely walk up whenever I went to farm and hit me with all of their abilities, and the Lulu sat there and would maybe throw a shield on me, and that's about it. Like, I saw little in the form of polymorphing or queuing or autoing the enemy laners or anything, so I just got shoved in again, and every time I walked up, got chunked for like half my health bar, and
Yeah, that's
so
rough.
had to back a lot. And I mean, we actually came out kind of even in the lane, but that's just because Hecarim like came bot 3 times or something and bailed us out, so it wasn't any of my doing.
I would focus on the same shit we started about. Doran shield, like if you have to back early because your support sucks, and you have to buy a Doran shield, like you're thinking longsword's the way to go, but now you're like, you know what? Or like here, you have a Lulu, right? So you got the relic shield to help out, to get that ardent sensor early, but then you back and you have to buy Doran shield and like armor for some ninja tabby or something. You know, like it's not the worst.
Right.
Okay, just so you can actually survive and farm, so you can get real items.
Right.
Really good Korean coach, Last Shadow, big fan of that guy. He will often recommend in tough lanes building defensive items first to survive, to get farm, to build the offensive items.
Okay.
It's a weird concept. Everybody I pitch it to hates it, but it is really, really strong. Because in situations where like you have a potato support, you're essentially like 1v2.
Yeah.
So you're not going to win that fight ever. But you have to farm, right?
Right.
So if you build damage, are you still going to be able to farm?
I mean, not if you walk up and get chunked for half your health bar every time.
Right. But if you build defense and you only get chunked for, I don't know, like a 6 of your health bar.
Yeah, then it's a little more manageable.
Yeah. So, like, in that situation, Doran shield, get like 1 cloth armor, I don't know, buy a whole bunch of potions.
Or
And,
refillable
like,
or something.
Yeah, refillable would be fine. But do that, and I would build the cloth armor to like Ninja Tabby, you know?
Right.
If they have something super scary and you want to be a little more troll, Tristana does have AP ratios. If there's like a Zed mid or something, it is actually completely
Zonias.
fine to build a Zonias.
Yeah.
Like, people freak out, but that's a thing you can do. It builds into
I've done
GA.
it a couple times against a Fed Zed, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and you have AP ratios, so it's not like you're wasting the AP. You like the cooldown reduction. Your team might troll you until you don't die and kill everybody. Yeah. You'll get like 4 honor at the end of the game, but that cloth armor could go towards Ninja Tabby if they have a whole bunch of auto attackers on the enemy team. It could go towards the Guardian Angel if like you're worried about like a big wombo combo burst. So just sit on that cloth armor so you can survive.
Right.
That's the easiest way to do it, like Doran Shield cloth armor potions. And then you essentially trade your health for their mana and just sustain through it. And when they're out of mana, then you get free farm. Okay. Other way is just learn how to farm under turret better. And I know that's hard in Tristana, but maybe like don't max your E first.
Right.
Like whenever I see a Karma, I'm like, great, we're never gonna be able to kill each other. This is just a farm lane. Oh boy, So like maybe up front, you shouldn't get your E, but then you feel it out and like, okay, I start my Q because like I'm doing this thing Gunday showed me, and then Jin is just hard shoving the wave, right? And maybe you need the E to fight back. I don't know, like you can adapt. It's a strategy game, right?
Yeah.
But I would do that. I would just not try to force anything, because if it's a potato, it's just going to sit there and do potato things.
Right.
So, like, don't force anything. Hope for the best. It's probably some, like, mid-lane main who's auto-filled support who's just salty about it. Just let the game happen.
So if I get in a spot where I'm getting chunked, or I get chunked a little bit, like in the beginning of the lane or something, and then I'm getting shoved in, and let's say their wave is building up and there's no way I can come up and start trimming it at this point or shaving it at this point, right? At that point I just stand back and let it crash, right?
Yeah, you'll lose a few CS to make sure you don't lose the giant wave.
Yeah, and like just try to stand in experience range or something.
Yeah, and it sucks, but sometimes in that situation, if you lose your tower super early and then they go mid to do the ARAM thing and give you a free farm bot, no, don't freeze. Hard shove it.
Oh, okay.
Like here, let me go back to Rift Kid. All right,
have to spend their time rotating bot in mid all the time.
Yeah, have you heard of the ARAM meta?
I mean, I witness it in every game that I play.
Okay, sure. So it's ARAM time. You're the blue team.
Well,
they're the red team.
15 minutes. Everybody go fight for the mid towers. Ready to go.
Cool. So you're Tristana. They're here. Your team has pretty good wave clear. They're spamming question marks on your head because it's time to fight. It's 15 minutes. Let's ARAM, right?
Yeah.
But they have like an Anivia or something. You have that Lulu you talked about. Jungle and top are tanks. They can wave clear for days. What should you be doing? Farming bot lane. Maybe top lane. Depends what's up, right? It's 15 minutes, so Rift Herald's up, maybe. But if there's a dragon up, be bot lane. And then you're hard shoving. What do you get to do because you're Tristana?
Take the tower really fast.
Push waves really fast, take towers really fast. Yeah. Cool. What happens if, like, Fed Zed comes to murder you?
I walk back and go base or go group with my team.
Yeah, you just walk up here. Remember, you can jump. You have your ult. You can wait for his ult. Cool, he ulted in. I now jump. I ult back. Cool, you don't have any damage. See you later, nerd.
Yeah.
And you've shoved this up, so now he has to go farm it. Now you come here. Now you win the ARAM mid.
Nice.
But you should be doing that. So if your tower falls and then the enemy bot lane leaves, cool.
Just shove away, dude.
Yeah, you shove really fast on Tristana.
That's usually what I do. I mean, you can't really freeze this Trist anyway, right? But, yeah.
Now this is just in the contingency that you have potato support, right? And that's like, you don't want to give up that first tower.
Right.
That sucks. Don't do it if you can help it, but
it's better than sitting in lane and just letting them farm champions for 10 minutes too.
Yeah, like don't do the ARAM if you're behind. If Jin has his IE finish and you're sitting on your cloth armor because you're trying to survive the lane, right? Not time to fight.
That's a big problem that I have, is like trying to convince my teammates to let me farm for a while instead of just fighting every time we see the enemy champion.
Yeah, sure. Well, ideally, as you get better at farming, it'll be the correct decision to fight every time you see the enemy champion, because you'll be like 2 items up on them.
For sure.
Like the really scary players, like the challenger players that smurf and stuff, the reason they're able to consistently control games if they're in the AD carry role is because they have perfect CS, because they're up against, gold, silver, whatever players that don't know how to lane, that don't know how to last hit.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just moving away from Trist, honestly, dude, because when I play like Callista or K or something, I get like pretty good farm almost every game.
Yeah,
and
then just
it
do that.
feels so much better.
Like in gold, you can play literally anybody in the AD carry role and win.
Yeah, but I want to find somebody to main that I can just keep one-tricking when I get higher elo too.
Sure.
You know?
Again,
so I want to play
pick
like
one.
Vayne or something and then just get butt blasted when I get to.
Vayne is insanely strong right now.
Yeah.
You can do it. I mean, like, Piglet just took Vayne into like Caitlyn or something in a LCS game and shit stomped her. Like, if you itemize properly, if you control the wave properly, it's really good right now. Pick a champion and just stick to it and like work on farming.
Okay.
And realize, like, if you're in a harassy lane, just build the way we talked about.
Right.
Like, get that Doran shield and just farm, whatever, you know?
Yeah. I think I might just stop playing Trist because I farm much better on almost every other champion that I play. And then, like you say, that just leads to having more stuff and doing more damage than the enemy, so...
Yep.
That's cool.
Alright, kind of makes sense?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of that stuff does.
Alright. So here, you ready to move on to decision-making and team fighting?
Yeah, man, this is a meaty topic that I want to delve into.
Alright, cool. So, break it down for me. By the way, while you're doing this, I'm gonna fix my stream. I just noticed that, like, my chat, like this thing over here, is like super tiny. It's like chat for ants. So I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Okay.
But tell me about, okay, like, what's the problem with your team fighting? You said, how do I optimize my damage output, which led us to be like positioning, who to focus, how to optimize damage, what to do in the mid game if your team is done.
Yeah, so I guess my general approach to a team fight is stand away from it until it breaks out, and then try to enter the fight, or be on the outskirts of the fight until I see big cooldowns get blown, or
Okay.
the major CC on the enemy team that I'm really scared of.
Okay.
Or at least know that I'm out of range of that CC or getting flashed on by that person or something, and then just hit the dude that's in front of me. Unless I can ignore that person and go for a higher priority target, and that's just my really rudimentary approach to it, I guess.
Okay,
and
cool.
a lot of times I feel like I'm either too scared to enter the fight or hit somebody that's not the big stupid tank in front of me, and I don't do enough damage in the fight, or I go in too early and just get completely blown up. And it's really hard for me to skirt that line unless I'm ahead, or I mean, I do have good games where I team fight really well too, but a lot of times my problems stem from one of those two extremes, I guess.
Alright, I actually got it. Here's what I want you to do. It's gonna be super boring, you might hate it for a few games, but then you'll see why I'm doing it. I want you to play 10 Sivir games.
Okay.
Why? Why do you think I want you to do that?
I mean, because you hit one person and your autos bounce to their whole team.
Sure. Why else?
You can
Probably pertaining to a bunch of the stuff you just told me.
You have the spell shield to block a CC.
Nope.
You have the... What? No?
No. Like, so you said Tristana, Callista, like, who else was it, Kate or something?
Yeah.
What do all those champions have? I mean, they all auto-attack. They're all 80 carries.
Yeah. I don't know what you're getting at.
They're all really mobile. They all have dashes
yeah.
and shit.
Sivir doesn't have an escape. Yeah.
Sivir doesn't have an escape. She has her spell shield, sure, but she doesn't have an escape. You can play Twitch, too, and get the same kind of thing I'm looking for.
Okay.
This will help you...
trying Twitch, actually.
Sivir is more forgiving.
Right.
Start Sivir. This will really let you focus on positioning. And Sivir is like an 80 carry that wins team fights front to back. Do you know what I mean by that?
You hit the dude in the front and it chains to the back line and you kill them all.
I mean, yeah, that happens too. But you kill the front line first and then the back line.
Okay, yeah.
So you kill the tank line first and then the back line.
Okay.
So it's weird, and it's because she doesn't have dashes to reposition. Like, you can't trisect somebody. You can't, like, E in, ult someone into your team, blow them up with your team, and then, like, get a reset on your jump to get out, right?
Right.
Like, because you're Sivir. That's not how your kit works.
Right.
But if you play Sivir, it will force you to position really, really well, and you'll just die if you don't. So it'll be like a really, really quick, harsh learning curve, okay?
Sure.
Nuachan saying Sivir will teach you how to use your mana. Yeah, there's that too. Because she's pretty mana hungry, and it'll teach you how to, like, harass a little better. Like, if someone goes to blast you with a spell, that's when you spell shield to get mana back, usually. And you gotta choose between using the spell shield as, like, a mana pot, or, like, saving the spell shield to not die to a jungle gank.
Right.
Yeah, Jhin is another good one. So if you don't like Sivir, because most people think she's super boring, Jhin, no escape, right?
Yeah, I used to play a lot of Jhin, actually.
I don't think he's as good in tank meta right now, but...
Yeah, that can be some feels bad, man, stuff.
But if you build properly, he can work.
What would Jhin build against tanks, would you say?
Last Whispery items.
Okay.
Here, I don't know. Let's see what our good friend InvertedComposer says. Again, whenever I don't know, I just ask people that do know, right?
Yeah.
So here, let's see. Jhin, let's say full damage. Let's say we're up against those, like, scary tanks again, right? So I'm gonna get the Galio in there. You guys have no idea what I'm doing. This is a site that we talked about earlier that a Challenger player built that allows you to just kind of theorycraft and figure out the best possible builds because of math. You can switch your runes and masteries too.
I bloom like a flower in the dawn.
So he's saying first item Ghostblade.
Sure.
That actually, like, helps because you can move a little bit more. You got the lethality. Boots for attack speed.
And then last Whisper item.
And then last Whisper item third. Normally you'd build this later, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like early last Whisper item is the big change. Let's see their variations. No, it looks like last Whisper item is firmly third. Here,
Can you tick it over so there's the little bit of durability?
Doing that now, friendo. Yeah, it remains the same.
Huh.
Yeah, let's go half and half and just see. Like, this is fun when you, like, mess with it a little. It remains the same. Maybe I have to recalculate. Yeah, okay, it changed to Death Stance for durability.
Okay.
I had to lock in again. Phantom Dancer comes in.
So, I mean, that's if they have 4 tanks, right? Like, if they
Yeah.
only have 2 or 3 tanks.
That's like worst case
an
scenario.
attack speed item, second item or something.
Well, remember Jin's weird too, right? Like, attack speed for him gets converted into extra AD. He always has the
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Just a steal item, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's looking like against tanks, last Whisper item is better. And I don't know if I agree with Lord Dominic's. That's for damage. Because, like, Maokai will heal forever.
Yeah.
So you might want that Executioner. It's like if your team's all AP or something stupid, you're going to have trouble against him. So I don't know. It varies still. Like maybe it's like your potato support's job to get a Leandri's this game or something too.
Right.
But I don't know. Mess around with this site. It's really, really good. It'll give you the
Yes.
right idea. It's not 100% correct, but it's close, right? Because it's hard to math in all the weird passive interactions.
Yeah, I
Still
can
pretty good.
use my human brain to, nitpick it a little bit.
Good. The human brain that you have.
Yeah, I think.
All right, so check that out. All right, going back to your question. So positioning, how to get better at it. Let's do this. Let's say we have that ARAM mid that we were talking about, and you're playing your Sivir or whatever. Where should everybody be? And you can move these guys around. I'm in Rift Kit.
Okay, so...
Here, I'll do the red team, then I want you to do your blue team, okay?
Okay.
And we're mid. Oh, mid went to come kill you. You know, so it's going to be something like this probably, right?
Yeah.
You know, standard team. And I think you can move at the same time I am. Where should you be?
I mean, this would just mirror them, right? More or less. Like, I just want to stand next to the mid laner and near the support, essentially, and let my front line do frontline things.
I mean, it depends on your team comp. What if you have a LeBlanc?
Then I stand, I guess, closer, like, me and the support stand closer to the
Well, it's more like
top laner or
where
something.
you are, it's fine. But I'm saying, like, if you have a LeBlanc on your team, her job is to be, like, here.
Yeah,
Or if there's a Zed, his job is to be, like, here.
and then kill one of the squishies in the back.
Yeah, whoever's the most fed. He's just waiting, right? What
Yeah.
if your jungler's a Kha'Zix? Same kind of thing, right?
Then I'm probably standing, like, back here until stuff happens, honestly.
Well, I don't know. You got the tanky front line, right?
Yeah.
So, here, let's say you got the two assassin-y types, right? And they're actually doing their job, and they're just waiting. You know, maybe you got this going on. Where should you be standing?
I don't know why it would be any different from where it is right now.
Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, who
Yeah.
should you be attacking?
Whoever one of these two people come in on me.
Yeah, good. And the way to think about AD carry, you want to do as much damage as possible, right? Like, that's your
Yeah.
job. To do that early game, you gotta farm so you can get items so you can have more damage per auto and ability and all that good shit. So your job is to farm early so you can do as much damage as possible. In team fights, your job is to do as much damage as possible, so that means do as much safe damage as possible.
Right.
If you have the opportunity to, oh god, not a pink word, to take out one of these guys, cool. You just cut their damage in half. That means you're not scared of dying as much. That means you can survive longer to do damage. So, like if their AD carries a potato in here, like, who are you hitting?
The AD carry.
Yeah, like Tristana flashes in for whatever reason. I
Or
don't know.
like Twitch comes in from the side or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like
Yeah.
they have a Varus who flash ults. I don't know. Kill him. But usually, like, if he's playing smart, he's back here. So
Right.
these guys go to engage because, like, oh, there's only 3 of them. Let's dive. You are trying to kite backwards. Like, if this blue circle around you is your auto attack range, you're like here.
Yeah.
And you're just doing the damage, right? Because
Yes.
what's going to happen is they're all going to try to follow up, right? Then these guys come in and eat the backline, so you won't have to worry about them.
Right. And then you just collapse on them. Yeah, that's like a pretty straightforward team fight. I've been in a lot of those for sure.
Sure. All right, here. Give me something weird. Give me something that isn't straightforward that you're having
guess
trouble
what's
with.
trickier is, okay, let's consider I'm the red team. And,
Okay.
Uh, we have this team fight going on, and you know there's an assassin or two on the enemy team. And my front line does want to dive their front line or their AD carry or something. At that point, my general strategy is do this or something.
Yeah, that's
and then
horrible.
My whole team dies,
No.
you know.
No, no, no.
You know, not like that far, maybe, but like stand back here, and then my whole team dies. So I have no idea if I should like follow these dudes in and fight them, and then hope that they'll turn on the mid laner when the mid.
Yeah,
laner comes
like
in or
if this is
something.
Kha'Zix, this is like a Zed or something, or a LeBlanc.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have one person peeling for you. Usually it's the support, jungle, or top laner, right?
Right.
One of the others, their job is to frontline or dive and engage, you know? But it depends on the team comp. Here, in this specific situation, I would stay as a unit, and then you have the understanding, because you type using your words, that when these guys jump on you, these guys will turn and murder them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if they aren't doing that, what you need to do is figure out where these guys are. Because right now, are you safe?
Not at all.
No, you're gonna get destroyed.
I'm already dead right there.
So,
Yeah,
if you wanted to not get destroyed, what pieces of information would you need?
where the enemy champions are.
You know, let's get some wards. Holy shit! Let me click wards. Thank you. All right, cool. You got rid of these pinks. Cool. You see these guys. Is your team gonna pick a fight on this tower because they see this guy and this guy?
I mean, hopefully not.
No. Oh, what are they gonna do instead?
Turn on one of them.
Yeah, pick one. Who do you want to kill?
Probably the jungler.
Okay, cool. So turn on the jungler. He's dead. You know, your Maokai top or whatever, flash W's, everyone else piles on, dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Don't have to worry about this guy anymore. Where are you positioning now?
Over here
Good. Why?
because the mid laner is still a
Because
threat.
scary. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's say you have this all warded up. You know, it looks like this. These are all your wards. And the jungle isn't dead. He's just here. Where are you positioning?
The same spot.
Yeah, same spot.
Maybe
Support's
a little
probably here.
closer.
Jungle's here.
Yeah.
Top's like here. Mid lane's here. Maybe if your mid lane's like a Katarina or something, maybe she's here. I don't know.
So I mean, what do I do if my team does just like my front line does just dive? They just go in on these kids like they don't even care.
What I would do is I'd be like,
my
hey
strategy
guys.
At that point is I need to either be with these dudes or I need to be out of the fight, you know, or I'm just gonna get blown up anyway.
What I would recommend here, if they're just diving and not peeling, they're gonna figure out pretty fast that that doesn't work if they don't have their AD carry alive to do damage, right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it like you're gold, right?
Yeah.
You're not in bronze. This isn't everybody's like first game. You know, these guys are starting to know what to do, right?
I mean, sometimes people think we have a catch or something, though, and
Sure.
then we don't have vision of the entire enemy team.
Oh no, they're still bad. It's still gonna be sloppy.
Yeah.
But what you need to do is be like, hey guys, they have a scary jump on the AD carry comp. Can you peel? You know,
Right.
like say that ahead of time. Be like, I can't dive until we kill this guy, or until we know where he is, or something like that.
Right.
So that's one way you can do it. You can talk and communicate with your teammates and actually use teamwork and strategy to win a strategy game. Let's say they tell you to KYS, you know, kiss yourself or whatever that means. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like usually they tell me to kiss myself, and then like they don't help me at all. I don't know why. I don't get it.
Right.
But so you're not going to get any appeal. Do you want to do this dive?
No.
Okay. So what you're going to say is, hey, we tried it once. Sure didn't work. I'm not going to do it again. Good luck, but you're not going to have your AD carry. You know,
I go farm bot lane.
yeah, you can go do that. Now let's say
Or
you go.
solo dragon or something. I don't know.
Let's say you go farm bot lane and they have a Zed, right? What's Zed gonna do as soon as you show up bot lane?
Come kill me.
He's gonna come kill you, right?
Yeah.
So what
But
you
there's
need.
a 4v4.
Oh, sure, it's a 4v4. Oh boy, but they have an AD carry.
Yeah.
You don't. You guys are gonna lose that one.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. What you want to do instead is get rid of this guy or get rid of the jungler, whatever it is, so that you can actually do it. A couple ways you can do that. Like, it's too spoopy to like go in and ward yourself as a squishy AD carry. So you want to get a blue trinket so you don't have to get anywhere close.
Yep.
Get those bushes. Pink wards are great. Zelda was talking about it earlier. You need to buy pink wards as an AD carry.
I buy probably too many pink wards.
All right, good. As long as you have one out on the map, you're Gucci, right?
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is, let's say this wave is here, and it's like frozen, right?
Yeah.
Zed is still like around mid. Like maybe you just saw him mid. Sorry, it's a little laggy with this share. Do you know how to do big waves?
Yeah, just like kill the casters and then leave it or whatever.
Yeah, the gist of it is if there are 4 or more minions on your side, it will build up and push. So the thought process is if this is like their wave, if you cut it in half and kill the casters in the back, casters are like the AD carry of the minion waves.
Yeah,
If they don't have DPS, then they just have the tanks.
I actually know a surprisingly large amount about minion wave management because I've watched all those like solo Renekton top videos
Okay, cool.
and stuff. So
Good,
I
good.
get a lot of those concepts for sure.
So here, what you want to do is create a big wave here. Like if your guys are grouping mid, pick mid or top. I usually do the one that's opposite whatever jungle objective is spawning.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. So then the split for sure has to go deal with the wave or whatever.
Yeah, so someone has to go deal with the wave. If
Then
nobody
5v4
does,
them,
you get a tower. But if Zed is down here dealing with this giant juicy wave, or the AD carry leaves for this giant juicy wave, what's the problem, right?
Yeah, you just 5v4 them.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get where you're coming from with that in theory. The only problem is like gold solo queue, right? I can set up the wave as many times as I want, but if my jungler's off like farming Krugs at this moment, it's hard to capitalize.
Oh,
on.
sure.
So I mean,
So
there's
here,
that.
he does that. You go and farm. Nobody's dying. Isn't that good for you?
Yeah, because then I'm just getting stronger for
Yeah,
sure.
you're strongest at level 18 with 6 items because you're an AD carry.
Yeah.
So why is this bad?
I guess it's not. It's not.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Now, it's dumb, low elo, like, my teammates are all potato strats. Like, this wouldn't be that good, like, if you're up against good players and have good players on your team. You guys are wasting your lead, you're wasting time. Enemy team is catching up if they're behind. They're getting more ahead if they're ahead, because, like, if your jungle's farming Krugs and these guys are good, they're going to take all your towers.
Right.
You know, they're going to take Dragon, they're going to come kill you, they're going to take this, you know, just because he's up here derping around. You know, at the wrong time. I'm going to refresh real quick. So, just saying, like, it only works because people are bad. So as you climb, like, you're going to have to adapt strategies, but I would do that. Like, hey, my team doesn't think they need to peel for AD carry potato strat is pull away the scary people by building, like, big, juicy, shiny things in the other lanes. So someone has to go down there and get the big, juicy, shiny thing. When that happens, you have a 1 to 2 minute window to do whatever you want.
Sure.
And ideally, you manipulate the timing so that, you know, Krugs are down. So here, what's another thing? Let's say your jungler loves doing Krugs. Like, Infernal Dragons popping in 30 seconds. Gotta get those Krugs.
I'm doing Krugs, dude. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, seriously. Take his fucking Krugs. If Krugs are dead, he can't do them, right? What's left to do?
Take Krugs to 30 seconds before Dragon spawns.
Yeah, seriously, do it. Get rid of the shiny things so that all he has to do is focus on hitting smite on this and making you stronger. Now that tilts the
big Krug, so I guess I'll smite the dragon.
Yeah, that tilts the shit out of me as a jungler when my carries do that. And sometimes I think they're just trying to get strong. But if you have a bad jungler that doesn't know what they're doing, then, like, and you can tell, if it's one of those games where it's like, I don't play jungle and I can jungle better than you, maybe do that. And try to do it on the sly. Like, if he's doing it, don't walk up and just last hit them all away.
No, dude, I just say, dude, I need 100 gold for IE.
Oh, yeah, that's the best, you know. just pick an item that you're close to and just click it, you know, and then don't buy it. Buy what you were going to buy.
Yeah.
But you can do that if you want to. I would just do it on the sly. Like, I would do it, like, if you know Infernal Dragon's up, and you're like, hey, I don't know where all the scary assassins are, just you know, boop, leave the chickens up, because otherwise you're just a horrendous, horrible person.
Word.
And then, let's just get rid of this, you know? Maybe make your big wave, get this, go back mid A-ramp, you know?
Yeah.
So again, not the best strategy, but when your team is giving you potatoes to work with, when the hand you're dealt is full on potato, you gotta play the hand you're dealt, right?
Yeah. I mean, for every one of those games, I get a game with God teammates, and we ended in 18 minutes.
Yeah. So the goal is you're gonna win the ones with the God teammates. Great. You gotta, like, try to edge out a few victories here or there with the potatoes just so you can climb.
And then try to win all the middle case games too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got a few people talking about shot calling and stuff. Like Ash is saying, getting 5 people to listen. Dude, low elo's like herding cats sometimes, man. It just doesn't happen. So, like, the way you can shot call, again, is the sneaky shit. You can manipulate the wave so that your other carries aren't, like, going to farm them because they're shoving in. You can get rid of the jungle minions so that your jungler's on the other side of the map farming. You can wait till all in until, like, your jungler's nearby. He wasn't pathing to, like, gank or counter gank, but you just happened to all in when he was, like, in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
You can, you know, use your brain even if the others aren't.
Really easy for them, for sure. Yeah.
That's a lot of what it is, and a lot of laners, even in Diamond laners, don't do this. So if you start doing this now, you'll be set. Okay?
Yeah, that's
I'll
good.
go in the rain. Alright, let me read through. Zelda's usually pretty on point. She's a really good support. Okay, you guys are just arguing about stuff. Ask me questions, too. Like, if you have good input for this guy, like, and I agree, I'll, like, read it to him. We'll talk about it for a minute. Like, I'm not just ignoring chat. I'm just trying to keep it focused on what this guy wants. Alright, so, positioning. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
You want to go to where you can do as many auto attacks and spells as possible without dying. And if your itemization is right, the tank line should die too, right? So that's another thing. This LOL optimizer that we were messing with. Like, if I click this, it might be telling me, you know, to build these items. Like on Triss, I think the build was, like, IE...
2 zeal items.
Hurricane, Rapid Fire Cannon, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Shiv first, i.e. Rapid Fire Cannon, something like that.
Yep.
If you're only going to be attacking tanks, though, like, does that even make sense? I don't know, right? Like, what if this is the team?
It depends on their build too, I suppose.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're up against, like, full armor enemy team, like, it doesn't necessarily make sense to do that.
You might want to at least weave in the Last Whisper second or third item.
Yeah, here's the really good one. I'm, like, teaching my AD carry on my flex team about shit like this right now. Let's do Trist 2. This is where the item optimizer might break. Let's say every team fight, no matter what. Oh, look, it adapted. But if you're up against a Rammus, for example, and every team fight he is just flashing on you, he has insight, he has CDR boots, so his flash is up every like 3 minutes or whatever, and you're only fighting a Rammus, does it make sense to go your IE, static Shiv, rapid fire cannon?
Yeah, you want to get the lifesteal for sure, right? Because you're gonna have to hit him, and he does damage to you when you hit him. And
lifesteal and what else?
Armor pen.
Armor pen is helpful, but against Rammus specifically, who's going to have Thornmail and his W, which gives him like 800 armor, and also like reflects damage back. Lifesteal and what? Armor pen is important, sure.
I mean, I don't know.
Magic resist, actually.
Oh.
Because Thornmail does magic damage, that's it.
Sure, yeah.
So it seems weird.
So does his tough skin thing or whatever, right?
Yeah. So, like, Thornmail and his W, whatever it is, I think it's the shield ball curl thing. But you want something like this, you want, like, a Mercurial Scimitar, which has lifesteal and magic resist in it.
Yeah, Merc Scimitar is like the Rammus counter item, right?
You probably don't want Hurricane until you have those items. Because even if you're not hitting him, you're hitting him. If that makes sense. And then he's grievous wounding you.
Yeah, no, I didn't think about that.
So, like, it always bugs me when, like, AD carriers are like, well, time to rush Hurricane, when there's a Rammus on the enemy team who's rushing Thornmail. They just kill themselves doing that.
Applies on-hit effects to you, too.
Yeah, so... I mean, again, use your brain. If you do a couple team fights, and it's like, wow, every team fight, I don't even get to see the other 4 champions, because Rammus just jumps to me, and my team doesn't peel. Yeah. You're playing to 1v1 Rammus at that point.
1v1 the Rammus, yeah.
So then the question becomes, how do I 1v1 Rammus the best? Like here, I wonder if I can do this. Oh, this beautiful tool, I love it. We're using the League of Legends math item optimizer. If you guys are wondering what the hell I'm playing around with.
The League community does not deserve this awesome website, really.
Yeah, InvertedComposer's rad. I give him like $15 on his PayPal every time I remember this thing exists. So here, let's see what this is saying. This is recommending Hurricane. I guess it figures if there's 5 Rammuses, they're going to be hitting him regardless. But, because it only stacks once. But look, he's recommending an armor pen item, lifesteal here, Mercurial sneaking in, Death's Dance sometimes. Here, let's say this. Because maybe you want to go a more defensive build too, right? Wait, okay, gotta lock in. Yeah, there we go. Bloodthirster sneaks in. Death's Dance sneaks in. That's interesting. So you're gonna have a little less damage, but you'll actually be able to survive. And still Hurricane. That's interesting. I don't know about that. I think this is like one of the shortcomings of the tool. But I guess into the 5 Rammuses, right? You're going to be hitting a Rammus no matter what, so maybe that's what it's thinking.
I think it's also trying to maximize the damage against the entire enemy team.
Yeah, it is.
Assuming that the bolts are going to hit targets every time,
Oh, look, it has an anti-tank option, so I could have just clicked that too. Yeah, so it's probably optimizing for the entire team. If you were just 1v1ing, Hurricane would not be because it's the I'm going to hit multiple things, right? Item.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. So again, like, use your brain. Probably want this for his taunt. It gives magic resist and lifesteal. If you see a Rammus, maybe have a rune page with a little more magic resist in it too. A bunch of things you can do.
Right.
Maybe buy Merc Treads.
Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't recommend boots either, which is fun. So,
Boots
okay.
don't do damage, kinda.
Sometimes they do. But does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so again, it depends how the team fights are going. It depends what your teammates are doing. Like, if they're not peeling the Rammus, then whatever. Like, if your tank line is just blocking the Rammus for you and you can actually auto-attack other things, cool. It's not an issue. You don't need to do that. But, if they're potatoes, again, gotta use potato strats.
Yeah.
All right, who to focus? Who should you be focusing in these different situations?
The dude that's in front of me that I can hit safely without getting blown up by the
Yep.
enemy team.
Because ideally, if you've been working on your farm like you have, you're stronger than the enemy AD carry. And so your tank should last longer than their tank. Because you're
Right.
stronger than the enemy AD carry, their tank should die faster. You kill their tank, your tank's still alive. You wipe out the enemy team.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Nuachan is saying you should watch Forgiven for positioning, but he speaks mostly in Greek. I don't know about that. I can recommend some guys to watch for positioning too. Rice Balls, actually, he's going to be back soon. Really good AD carry player, really good about answering questions, really good for positioning.
Yeah, I have him followed and I've chatted with him privately a couple times, so
Cool.
he's been helping me out a little bit too.
Yeah, that guy's a god. Watch him, the AD carry. He knows his shit. Other stream I'd recommend, watch Ioki. I host him all the time. But Ioki is a support main, and he will tell you very vocally whenever his AD carry screws up. Usually does a whiskey shot every time he dies or whatever, the AD carry main. So it's usually pretty good.
Okay.
But you could, and ask could be like, Ioki, tell me everything this AD carry is doing wrong. And he sure will.
Alright, I'll check him out.
So like I would watch Rice Balls to see what to do. I would watch Ioki to see what not to do from an AD carry perspective. Because for whatever reason, and he's in like Diamond 5 Clown Fiesta Elo right now, so it's super good for bad positioning. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna give him a follow.
Oh yeah, here, go into Twitch chat. Here's his emote. So it's just Ioki of a 0, okay?
Nice.
But no, Ioki's a god. He's really fun, really good support player. And like, you can learn a lot just from the support side of things watching and be like, my AD carry needs to be doing this because I'm going in to engage and he's not supporting me, he's positioning wrong, he's not even with me in the lane, he's not doing the trading stance, right? There's all these little things, right? That
Yeah.
the supports have plenty of time to nitpick. So. Make sense?
Yeah. Can you talk about the trading stance really quick?
How about this? I'll give you a really good video to watch. Have you seen this
Okay.
one?
I don't think so. I've heard the term thrown around. I don't know.
League Craft
Hey guys, I'm
101.
a diamond mid.
This is a diamond player. He works at Riot now. He was an intern. He's a U of M guy, I think. Really good player, really smart. Built like 20 videos that just give you basic stuff. The first one is the trading stance. I'll throw it in Discord too, just in general.
Okay.
So check that out, especially if you're an AD carry player. That will teach you when to harass, when to farm, and how to manipulate the wave so you can make the enemy AD carry's life a living hell.
Because you basically, I think the idea is you want to set it up so none of the minions die at the exact same time, and you make it so they have to choose between hitting the minion or hitting you, right? And then you trade at
Exactly.
that point or whatever, right?
You ever watch Faker's stream?
Here and there, yeah.
Faker is the best player in the world at doing
he's so
this.
Good at that. Yeah, he's really good at that. It's like scary, kind of.
Here, I'm going to put it in Twitch again. Faker. Watch him for the trading stance. It's mid, so it's a little bit different. But, like, you can get the idea. Watch how he auto-attacks the waves and stuff. So that you can see, like, how he is setting up the wave to make it so the other really good challenger player on the enemy team can't do shit. When he smurfs, it is really fun to watch him just shit on people, too.
Yeah.
But watch that video, watch Faker once you watch the video, and then practice it, like in the practice tool against a bot or something.
Okay.
Okay? That'll be easier than me explaining, like, well, you do this. Visualize it in your brain as we talk about a screen share.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. And that'll help with your positioning. That'll help with who to focus. That'll help with how to optimize damage. The gist of it is if they can only auto-attack one thing at a time, right?
Yeah.
Or if they're on cooldown, they can't use that spell. so you don't have to worry about the damage for that window of time. You can go in and do the things.
Right.
And then, like, the one main point that I really took from that series is think of auto attacks like a really short cooldown spell.
Right. Yeah, I get that. I do kind of think of it in that manner already.
Okay, cool.
Because they do have like a timer on them, right? So yeah, that's cool.
Yep. All right, Red. Okay, so what to do in mid game when team is done? I think we talked about a few strats, right? Like
yeah, setting up the waves and providing enticing things for the enemy team so that you can force a numbers advantage somewhere or whatever.
And also, you want to be like in the right place. Like, so here, let's say you're ahead. You got rid of bot tower. Where are you going?
Base buy items and usually go mid or top to pressure that tower, unless I need to catch the wave bot.
Yeah, top is usually the correct thing. And what you want to do is be like, hey, top laner, you go bot, I'm going to go top and get this tower. And then, like, the way this works is, like, here, you're red, let's say. You're here, enemy bot lane didn't switch because they're gold and bad. Your support just hangs out in this bush, and then you just harass this guy and free farm. And then every time he goes, like, all in you, the support just comes out and is like, nope!
And then you kill him and take the tower.
And then if your jungle has a brain, he comes up here and just does this, because if their jungle has a brain, he'll come up and kill you.
And then you kill them all and take the tower and take Rift Herald.
Exactly. You know, if Infernal Dragon's up, maybe you rotate down to Infernal, take that, and then do this.
Yeah.
You know, so or maybe you go mid so you're near the dragon, but it's the same concept, right?
So you just swap side lanes, yeah. Because you don't want to mess up your mid laners' farm and experience and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what a lot of like bad bot lanes will do, and this happens in my games too, like in Diamond 3 right now, is they will like take the first tower and they'll just go right back to farming and they'll just push out, and then the enemy Zed kills them. And
if you can't get the top laner to swap with you though, is it not correct to then go catch the bot wave and like try to rotate mid or something?
It's correct to catch the bot wave, hard shove it, rotate mid.
Yeah.
The correct play is for this guy to switch with you though. But if he's bad, another thing you can do is like he's not switching. Well, looks like we're just taking this tower, and like you have 3 people up there, so you don't have to worry.
And if you're on the losing side of that, do you still want to make that swap anyway? Because then you have the tower to defend you, and the top laner has an easier time in the longer lane.
No.
And that sort of thing. No. Okay.
Because what's gonna happen? Like if the enemy team is
because then
good.
you can pressure their top laner who does swap and get that tower or whatever.
Yeah, like what's going to happen is like if your tower dies bot, and the enemy bot lane's good, they're gonna go up here. So if you're saying my tower dies and I go up here too, you just lost everything. You know?
Yeah.
What you want to do instead is counter take this tower as quickly as possible.
Okay. And then just try to catch up in tempo or whatever.
Yep, exactly. So when you're ahead, you're fine with this trade because like you already have 1 tower down. They take this tower, you take this tower. Cool. They're always going to be a tower behind.
Yeah.
So you win that way. But if you are behind, you're hoping that the top lane is like, no, this is my lane. You know, go kiss yourself. Leave me alone. And then you use that time and confusion to take this tower, and then you can rotate and match them.
Okay.
Kind of makes sense?
Because gold things, sure.
Yeah. Alright, we've been talking for almost 2 hours. I think we covered all the shit you wanted to go through. Do you have any more questions?
When you put it like that, it sounds really ominous, but
No.
I think we covered. I mean, I'm going through my notes here, and I think we covered everything that I specifically wanted to talk about.
Cool.
And you made a lot of other good additional suggestions as well that I will take to heart.
Okay. Homework then. I want you to watch those videos, okay?
Yeah.
Watch League Craft is what it's called. It's just the first video is trading stance. Watch Faker for trading stance. I want you to practice Trist E, farming under tower. And again, if you don't like it and it's like too hard, just don't max E until like level 3, 4, 5, whatever. You know, you'll be a little bit behind in your power spike, but again, you'll actually have CS, so.
Yeah.
What else do we talk about? Fix your itemization. I mean, practice it in a few normal games so you get the hang of like going Doran Shield first. Or so that if you have a bunch of like Karma, Janna, Soraka type supports, practice going Relic Shield first so they can get an Ardent Sensor faster.
Yep.
Even though that seems like madness.
And you said play a bunch of Sivir or Jhin games or something too.
Pick an AD carry with no escape. I recommend Sivir because she's more forgiving. Twitch if you want to do hard mode. Jhin, he has like CC. So like he's a little easier than Sivir, who's a little easier than Twitch, is the way I think about it.
Okay.
But I would recommend Sivir, go into Twitch if you get good at Sivir, Jhin if you just want to like count to 4 a whole bunch.
Okay.
But this will help you if you're positioning, and this will help you be in the right place in team fights, if that makes sense. Sivir's also pretty strong right now into tanks, so.
Sick.
Alright, I'll throw this video up on YouTube because this is a pretty good session. The stream didn't crash. So, like, this will all be recorded. You can watch it on double speed or, like, skip to the part that you, like, forgot about, too. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah. Can I get that document from you, too?
Yeah, I'll just copy-paste it into Discord chat, okay?
Okay, sick. Thanks, man.
Yep, and hold on a sec. Let me... There you are. Alright, we did the things. Alright, you should have it.
Cool. Hey, thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, is this what you wanted? Helpful?
Absolutely. Very helpful.
Alright, cool. Kick some ass. If you're still having trouble in like a month, let me know and we'll do another one and figure out why.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be around, dude.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna get out of Discord. Have a good night.
You too. Take it easy.
Alright, bye. Alright, guys. That was the Fox Sorcerer. He is a gold 4 AD carry main. We were helping him with a bunch of stuff.